Welcome, Yash.
Thank you, sir.
You're looking fresh from all that success, which is only a few months ago. It's just incredible. I remember interviewing you a few months ago when the film was released. And my son caught the video. My son used to live in Karnataka at the time. He knows a bit of Kannada as well. And he said, "You've got Yash on the channel. He's the biggest star at the moment that the film industry has." He says there are taxi drivers and auto rickshaw drivers who are wearing Rocky Bhai t-shirts and saying, "We want to be Rocky Bhai." Did you ever expect in your wildest imagination just how big KGF would become? Or was it something that you were not certain about?
Good evening, everyone. If it doesn't sound arrogant, I really wanted this to happen, and I kind of visualized it every day in my life. I very badly wanted this to happen. So I always tell people, if somebody asks me, "How do you feel?" I said, now I don't have anything to explain, because this day I was living like few years ago, or few 5-6 years ago. I was feeling this day, this kind of success. So I've lived this moment back then. So now it doesn't, affect much to me. So I'm thinking ahead now.
We'll come to what you're thinking ahead, but just the scale of what you achieved, just the scale of what happened to a Kannada film, which sort of in every language that it was dubbed into has become a mega hit. Did the scale surprise you at some stage?
Yeah, it is actually, it surprised a lot of people. But the point here is, India is a country which has got huge potential. I feel whatever we are talking, whatever we are celebrating today, is just fraction of what we all can do. So, India Today. So today we can celebrate this, but I feel India has much more to offer. That is where we should be looking at, rather than thinking that today there is some miracle happening, but this is long pending thing, I think, which took a lot of time for us to realize that there is potential. If we all come together, the cinema industry can have this kind of capacity. I think for me, I always feel that this is around 5% maximum we have tapped our potential, 5 or 10%. There is much more to do when we look at West, or when we look at the possibilities of cinema itself, entertainment itself. I think a lot more we can expect from this generation.
But when you say just a fraction of what the future holds, until now, the kind of applause, the kind of showstoppers were Hindi cinema or Bollywood. And we are in the city of Bollywood. Along comes a Kannada cinema actor who transforms the entire economics of the industry post-COVID and transforms the image of the angry young man. And it seems as if Southern cinema at the moment in particular has taken over. Whether it's RRR, Bahubali, Pushpa, it seems that the dreams are really being woven down south. What is it about South cinema? We'll come to Kannada later, but just South itself, which is changing these dynamics. You're producing blockbuster after blockbuster.
See, I feel it's just that 10 years ago, the dubbing film started coming, or a few years ago, dubbed film were becoming very popular here. But initially, they all started watching it with different opinion. People used to make fun of South films. It was just like, South ka film, some channel pe aa raha hai, and they were like, "Ye kya action hai, ud raha hai sab." That's how it started. But eventually, I know they got hooked on to that. They started understanding that art form, and the problem with that was, our films were sold at a bare minimal price, and people used to do bad quality dubbing, and it used to be presented in a bad way with funny names. Sometimes, if I travel here, when I'm traveling to north of India, a lot of people call me with some other names, which I'll be wondering, which name is this? Some people call me, "Hi Rambo sir." I'm like, what is this Rambo? somebody even told the Great Lion. I said, what is this Great Lion? Then all my old films were dubbed. So people started becoming familiar with our films and our actors. It's just that it was one proper move we wanted to make. It was long pending. I think Rajamouli sir, the credit should go to Rajamouli sir. It's not just KGF or any other film. He started. Before that, I think many people tried. If you have to break a rock, they say it is not just that one break. It's continuous effort. A lot of people have done that. But Bahubali, I think, made an impact. After that, KGF was done with a different intention. Telugu industry had a lot of hits, like Rajamouli sir's Ega, or so many other films had made a mark in Hindi also. But Kannada industry, I think what KGF got into the industry is, our intention of making KGF was not to intimidate. It was to inspire, that anybody with bare minimal budget when compared to other films. KGF 1 was done with a minimal budget, can go out and achieve. That was the thing. And now people have started noticing South films. So they're curious. So whatever is happening in South, it's straight away people are following it, and that's why it's working. Before it used to have a different kind of budget for us to come and market here. I don't know, for some reason, because of all this digital revolution, people are connected. So it's becoming easier. I think time was right about it, that's all.
But I'm looking at all these wonderful special effects. There you are, larger than life. And the special effects are meant to razzle and dazzle. You're the angry young man who can, kill 1,000 people at one time. Was that the important part also? Just creating this sort of mesmerizing special effects so that you become this larger than life character, Rocky Bhai. Everybody knows you as Rocky Bhai now. Whether you're in the north or south, you're Rocky Bhai. But this kind of larger than life image, was that also very consciously, that's how you wanted to make the film?
Yeah, I think today it's important for us to have an escape from whatever is happening in life. For common man, I think you need to give hope. So a speech of a successful person or some achiever coming and telling something about his experience, or you talking about personality development, may not inspire them. They have their own way of learning things or getting inspired. I think cinema plays a major role. A mass hero will be doing 100 things which might even sound silly to some people or funny to some people, but I think there is some connection between audience and us. So we try to communicate certain things, so they take away all the bad things and they take the good things. At the same time, they get inspired and they imitate us and they go out and get inspired and do certain good things also.
Because there was Rajnikant and Tamil films, which for a long time were sort of reaching out to new audiences. Telugu films, as you said, reached out. Malayalam films reached out. But this seems to be the year of the Kannada film. Because even as we speak, Kantara, your new film is not your film, but a Kannada film, is making waves. High praise, and again, a low-budget film that's making a lot of money. What is it in Bangalore? Bengaluru's, it seems to be Namma Karnataka is the buzzword at the moment.
Sir, it's also my film, sir. You said it's not my film, but it's my film also. What I believe is, from my industry's perspective, I can tell you something. We needed that attitude shift. That's what I believe.
You needed?
That shift of attitude.
Right.
Sometimes what happens is, it's all about, a lot of people have talent, they have that confidence, all of that is fine. But the moment you come out, when people start judging you and talk about your industry in a certain manner, and it takes a lot of effort to break that perception. That was important. Back home, when I was in the early stages, I noticed certain things where people only used to start with a negative approach. They said, ours is a small industry, we have a lot of limitations, and we can't compete with rest of the industries because their budgets are high, they have bigger markets. And a lot of people used to say that, Kannada industry can never make it. So I had a problem with that because no industry is big or small. It's about what we do in that industry. So we can make good things. If it becomes big today, see, the whole perception has changed. When people are talking about Kannada industry, they say Kannada industry is rocking. Kannada industry has changed. I think it's about few steps which is important. Like Kannada industry now, everybody is going with that attitude saying we can do whatever we want to, we can showcase our talent at a national level. So that was important. I think for me, the main agenda was to come out and position our industry in such a way that I still remember when we started KGF, promoting KGF, when we wanted to venture out of Karnataka, not many people in my team believed it. So they all were very confident, they all were very passionate, they wanted to make this happen as a big Kannada film. But when we went out to make it a pan-India film, everybody had inhibitions, everybody had lack of confidence. But what it takes is you should go and just try. You should try, then people are always, I believe audience are not biased. If they like it, any film can become big film, any film can become the biggest grosser. It's just about you have to go and present it.
So language in that sense is not a barrier. Are you, Yash, therefore a Kannada star who's become pan-India? Or do you see yourself as a pan-Indian star now who also will do Kannada cinema?
See, I am a Kannadiga. That can't change. But I am also an Indian. See, what is the system here? In our country, we are Indians. So our cultural difference or cultural, we differ from each other. In Karnataka also, there is a Tulu culture. There is a North Karnataka, it is different. Mandya, Mysore, Karnataka is different. But that should be our strength. That should never become our weakness. So my point is, you have to accept that this is one country and the industry should not be divided into north and south. Even today, after, I think people have moved on, they are showing again and again that they have moved on. But still, if somebody is addressing South Star, North Star, it's not that. It's just about an actor from South. Indian film, an Indian actor who has made something from that part of this country and everybody is accepting it. That's how it should be treated according to me.
That's very well put. You are in that sense, an Indian star above all else. I want to tell the audience, reading your life story, father was a bus driver and you grew up in Hassan and Mysore. You come from Hassan, you grew up in Mysore. And I was told even after you would achieved some success in cinema, your father continued to drive the bus?
Yeah.
So he remained a bus driver even as his son was creating waves across the,
I had the...
Does he realize how big you've become or not now?
I don't think anything will change for them because, see, my dad told me one thing. I think I had Ramachari, Mr. and Mrs. Ramachari, which was the biggest blockbuster back then. Even then he was working. So his point of view was your respect, people, what kind of respect they give you for your industry is fake. If they are respecting me for, successful star's father, that is like momentary. After a while it can, every Friday you have to go and prove. So he said, let us stay away from it. If we get addicted to it, it becomes very difficult. So he always stayed away. My parents, they hardly attend any film events. I think one or two. That too because there was somebody from his department, one minister had come once. That time he attended. And they've never come to my shoot. Maybe one or two times for some signature purpose they have come. So that's how it's always been. So back home, even my friends, they all treat me the same way. It's just about you. Your work should give you that respect, and that is what matters. After that, in home or at home or in your life, you have to be that same person. If not, it becomes very difficult for you to think ahead.
Let's come to this character of Rocky Bhai. The way it's designed is to project you as this larger than life anti-est, someone who's taking on the villains of the world. How did you conceptualize it? Because you've given 8 years already to this franchise. You had KGF 1 and now you've got KGF 2. You gave 8 years of your life, you've done virtually nothing else but this role of Rocky Bhai. give us a sense of how you all decided and how this idea came that this is the film we want to make.
See, Mr. Vijay Kirgandura, Humbale Films, he came to me few years ago, and he had done one film called Nindintale. After that, we both came together and we were discussing about what kind of films we should do. He was also very ambitious. He said, it's okay, don't worry about the budget. We will have to make the biggest film from our industry. So I had that vision. I was also fighting in my own way. He was also trying in his own way. We both came together, and then we wanted to make big films for our industry. At that time, we met Prashant Neel. Prashant Neel had directed one film called Ugram. So one of our executive producer called Karthik, he went and approached Prashant. They got Prashant and Vijay sir, and both of us, we spoke, and Vijay sir told that, would you want to listen to that script? And I heard, and I had seen Prashant's work, and I'd fallen in love with his work. So I said, yes, we can do. At that time, the script, the kind of thought he came up with was entirely different from what it is today. So the idea was to make a big film. So we didn't know what exactly we were trying to make. The vision was already set. The vision was to make a film which will give everybody a boost. And for us also, I was getting continuously, I was getting that kind of success. So when audience start watching your film in a big number, that success will give you a power, will give you a strength. So that success is not for you to sit and celebrate. That is for you to go out and do bigger things. So that's when we realized, back to back, my films were working, and Prashant came up with a script. In fact, he came up with a story where it was periodic, and there was one portion of that which was KGF. There was a king who had illegal mining, something like that. Then I said, this itself can become a story. Then he said, really, do you think so? I said, yeah, this itself is interesting. Then he had a couple of scenes, what we have in KGF. So he came up with the entire thing, and we started working on it. All of us dedicated at least 6-7 years before we went on floor, I think.
6-7 years before?
2014, no, I think 2014 we started, 2018 we released. So totally till 2020 or 2020, yeah, 22, all of us were doing same. I mean, till this last April. So KGF was such a big journey.
So you've invested 8 years of your life in this KGF journey.
All of us, yeah.
So are you, I mean, when you go to sleep at night, you go to sleep as Yash or as Rocky Bhai?
I think sometimes as an actor, you take certain things from the character, and a lot of things you try to express through that character what you believe in. So Rocky is not different from who I am, but situations are different. You know, I may not be a gangster, but my approach or my attitude is aggressive in a positive way. So there are so many essence, so many elements which I can relate to this character, but it doesn't mean I'm Rocky. So
the reason I'm asking you is a lot of people, or some people have criticized the film, saying it's too violent. That, you know, Yash has done a film which is going to only make people believe that an action hero is someone who's born for violence. Do we really need so much of violence? And the role of the female characters becomes very incidental to the whole plot. How do you respond to those who tell you sometimes, Yash, do we need so much of violence for an action film?
Sir, to be honest with you, in life, we have to accept the fact that day and night, the day looks beautiful because of the night. And the night is mysterious and that curiosity will be there because day is there. So the part of life, the dark side is also part of our life. As humans, we all have to embrace it as well. We can't run away from the fact that what is happening in the world. So as a creative people, our job is to present what is happening. People and audience will decide. I think they're smart enough, sir. Same question would have been asked to Amitabh Bachchan, sir, also, whoever who's doing action films. We have grown up watching action films. Certain things, I think there is a cinematic liberty which everybody understands. So if you are hitting somebody, everybody knows that you can't hit so many people. I've never seen anybody watching the film taken a fight against 100 people. You know, nobody will take that point seriously. But if somebody commits something, bad or some criminal activities there, then you relate to that. Okay, this is maybe because of they watch a lot of cinemas. So I think it's all about understanding what life is. As a creative person, we cannot run away and just preach good things in life. So we need to present, but we also have clarity about what is our limit. You know, we don't cross that limit, and ultimately we are trying to put good things in a package. See, I can't go and preach, as I told you earlier. There is a way to tell certain things. If you see Rocky, there are so many elements which anybody can take as an inspiration for their life. But there are certain elements which they will eradicate. That's there from beginning, sir. Storytelling is all about that. If you see Ravana's character, there are so many good qualities, but there are bad qualities as well. So the blend is beauty. So the grey character is what I call him. It's not completely violent or anything. And we make fun of violence also. When I say violence, we are trying to make it a diluted version. It is not, what do you call it? It's stylized, sir. It's not violence.
Let's come to that dialogue. That dialogue which became iconic. Violence, violence, violence. I don't like, I avoid, but violence likes me. I can't avoid. Now I'm going to get you to say it the way you say it as Rocky Bhai. Because that dialogue has become completely iconic. So let's hear the violence dialogue, Yash style.
Violence, violence, violence. I don't like it. I avoid. But violence likes me. I can't avoid.
There is similarly another dialogue which also became iconic, which you can also relate to us. I'll do it in my way, you do it your way. I'm going to do it the very basic way. मेरी दोस्ती लायक कोई यार नहीं, मेरी दोस्ती झेल सके ऐसी कोई तलवार नहीं, बिजनेस करेंगे, offer closes soon.
India Today का dialogue है क्या sir?
Now you tell us exactly the way you do it.
Is it your channel's dialogue, sir?
No, our channel is not closing down anytime soon.
Okay, that's in Hindi. So, sir.
It's in Hindi. You want to go through it?
I think.
Yeah, you go.
I'll recall. मेरी दोस्ती लायक कोई यार नहीं, मेरी दुश्मनी झेल सके वैसी तलवार नहीं, बिजनेस करेंगे, ऑफर क्लोजेस सून.
You see, these stylized dialogues are very much part, and the way you do it are very much part of this iconography which is now being created around Rocky. I remember Rajnikant ji had the way he lit the matches. Bachchan Saab also had this booming delivery that, right from Zanjeer made him this iconic figure. Do you believe that is essential to have? That the character must have these elements, that people, whether it's the dialogue or the way you say it, that makes them larger than life for the audience?
Of course, I think if you see, there was a lot of Western films. Sergio Leone films were considered as violent films, and everybody ridiculed it at that time. Nobody took it seriously also. Today it is treated as classic. Because of the stylized thing, people imitated their style. There is certain amount of charm and persona that main character brings it on screens, which people will follow. I think for that generation, that is essential. People, we become some kind of style icons or ambassadors of certain, things. You need actors for those things. And if people connect to it, if they connect to one person because of his style or persona, then that's something which they would want to use in their personal life, and they carry it. So that's important. I think when you come out on screen, you should bring your persona also. If our director comes up with a script, it is not just about script or the way they have written. It's also about what you bring in as an actor will take you ahead, is what I believe.
I really wanted to understand though, from your perspective, Yash, did you have any role model in mind when you were making the film? Did you ever think of the Amitabh Bachchan characters that were played in the 70s or the Rajnikant characters? Or is Yash someone who, or you believe every actor is completely distinctive to the others? Is there a role model, someone you borrowed on? The great Kannada star, of course, was Rajkumar, but his kind of films also were very different. So is there someone who you chose as a role model while making this, or is this completely all these dialogues, the way you deliver them, your own distinctive style?
No, I think I've grown up watching films, so I just can't say that it's all mine. So you will be influenced. All your favorite movies, all your favorite actors, something or the other would have left a mark in you. So somehow it comes out. I don't go out and see somebody and say, I want to do this, I want to imitate. No, that's not the thing. But if I play a journalist role, maybe I get inspired from your body language or your style. So it's all about what you want to use, and sometimes it comes naturally. And I think all of us are like what do you call, like Abhimanyu, Ekalavya, where you kind of have gurus. So you imagine that there are certain things which you get inspired from all the actors, but then you do it on your own, and at a point I think it becomes your own. So
did you have a role model?
Many.
Who anyone?
I was a huge Shankar Nag fan, and of course Dr. Rajkumar sir, Vishnuvardhan sir, Ambarish Anna. So there are a lot of actors, and Amitabh Bachchan sir, and Prashant especially, was a huge fan of 80s Salim Javed Saab's film. So there was certain things where my director also brought in those kind of sequences were there, and a lot of Clint Eastwood's thing also. So you get inspired, and Kamal sir, Rajni sir is also my favorite, and a lot of places we get influenced by Rajni sir as well also.
You are actually a very reclusive star. These are one of the few interviews you're doing. You have come to Mumbai for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, since this fantastic success. It appears at the moment Bollywood needs Yash more than Yash needs Bollywood.
No, I don't believe in Bollywood or anything. As I
You
told
don't believe in Bollywood?
I don't believe in Bollywood, Sandalwood. I don't believe in these woods at all. Once I told, let's burn the woods.
Let's burn the woods.
Yeah. So the point here is, this is an individual industry. See, we can't, again, see, the point here is, we fought for our respect. We said, let us, please treat us the way every actor is treated in this country. And just because things are working for us, I can't start doing the same thing for others. If I start treating rest of the people saying, okay, we have surpassed all your things, and today we have gone up, South is going up, and Bollywood is finishing. All that bullshit I don't believe in. The point here is, let's just do good work. Audience, they don't care whether it is from Bollywood, whether it is from Karnataka, whether it is from any other state. See, now the Kantara movie is from Karnataka, and it's doing well. It's doing well in Karnataka. It's doing well everywhere. There was a movie called Garuda Gamana Vrushabha Vahana. It's a very good film, Kannada film, and Charlie 777 was another film from our industry. People watched, but if you promote it well, or with a reputed banner, with a good presentation, it will reach more and more people. So the point here is, I'm nobody. I think every Friday you have to prove. Just because I've done KGF, I can't think that tomorrow I'm the biggest, or Bollywood, I'm beyond Bollywood. There is no wood in the first place. So if somebody does a better work, or if somebody does something good here, then definitely people will accept it all over the country, and then the tables will turn, I guess.
Because you're saying there are no woods out there, whether it's Bollywood, Tollywood, Sandalwood. The fact is that also post-COVID, there was a feeling, will people come back to the cinema? One of the reasons why KGF has been seen as path-breaking is because you got people back to come to cinemas. From that auto rickshaw driver in Bengaluru wearing that Rocky Bhai shirt to maybe people here in the audiences, you got them back into the cinema. Do you believe to get audiences back in the cinema, Brahmastra has also done it to some extent, is you need these big ticket films now. You can't, the small budget films will be on OTT platforms and the big budget films will bring people to the cinema. Was that also something that drove you? How do I bring audiences to the cinema houses, pay that 500 rupees and watch the film?
See, audience are smart. So if we think we are smarter than audience, I've seen a lot of cinema people discussing, saying, "Arey, ye audience ko kya hoga yaar?" Or they only watch these kind of films. No, they are always smart. Because they are paying money, they will choose what to watch. And you should respect their choice. So today, if you are talking about big scale film or any film, it's not about that. They will sense it somehow. I don't know how. If they look at the poster, if they look at the trailer, they will know that this is a serious effort and sincere effort. So they understand the reason behind why this film is made. That is very important. Today, if you do a film just for the sake of doing, or if I do a film because the director is my friend, or there is a commitment, previous commitment, I have to fulfill that commitment, or I'm getting a lot of money, so I'm signing this film, they will get to know. So then and there, they will decide whether to watch this film or not. If they see there is a passion behind it, if there is a good effort behind this, and the team members are trying to make something good for the audience, they will definitely come and support irrespective of the scale or anything. See, there are different choices. Somebody may like scale films, big visual treat. If they don't like spending 3 hours in theater, they will prefer watching it on OTT. But most importantly, it should give an experience. It should take them to another world. That's what cinema offers to you. But if it is about a sensitive subject and if it's more about conversation and those kind of things, they may watch it in OTT is what I feel.
Is story the king then? Are you saying content is the king, or is the star, is the actor the big ticket? Because there's now a lot of debate within even within Hindi cinema. Are we paying our actors too much? Should we be paying the writers more? Should we pay perhaps the special effects people more? Do you believe that the storyline matters much more now than the actor? That the king is the writer in a way?
See, everything is important. If the story is good and there is a new actor, if he's a pathetic actor, then it's not going to work. If this actor is good, story is bad, then it's not going to work. If the VFX is bad and all of them are good, it's not going to work. If the VFX is good and rest of the people are bad, it's not going to work. So now how much to pay, that also everybody is smart enough today. Why? That is based on who is bringing in the value. See, if you see big Hollywood films, there are films where it's just based on director's name. People go watch because of director, then director will be charging more. There are films where production house, that name is enough. So they have that credibility. Then they will pay less for the actors. So it's pretty simple, it's business. If I am able to bring in value, they will pay me. If I ask for more, if I am not able to bring in that value, they'll say, "Acha hai sir, next time milenge." They'll say bye-bye.
But you're bringing in the value. Interestingly, KGF, the first chapter, got 40 crores in the Hindi dubbed version. The second chapter has got 427 crores and counting. So that's, you're a multiple of 10. You work in multiples of 10.
No, I think that 48 or something, that is bigger than this, according to me. Because the times were different. And when I came to Bombay, at that time, the kind of reception we used to get was entirely different from this 420 crores or 430 crores, whatever it is. The point is, at that time, a lot of people told me, "Why are you coming here? You won't even get that 10 crores back for whatever you're investing for the publicity or the promotional activities." So that is bigger achievement for me than this, because this follows. This I'm not very happy, because only one certain section of audience watched it in a big way. Kids have not watched this film. This was not made for kids. And senior citizens also may not enjoy, they have not enjoyed it as much. I know for sure. The potential is huge. So I'm not celebrating 400 and odd crores. I think anybody in near future will break that easily. But that initial thing is important. I think now we should be aiming at building bigger infrastructure for this country. If we have more theaters, if we have more screens, we can definitely generate more revenue and pay more taxes. So we can empower a lot of youngsters for this digital revolution. OTTs are like ready. There are no content creators today. I think we should be...
So when you came to Mumbai 2017-18 promoting the film initially, what would all those Hindi film distributors tell you?
See, lot of people didn't know there was a movie called KGF, so we had to tell that, okay, there's a movie called KGF we are making. Though it was the biggest film in my state. Everybody were curious because before KGF also, I was a big star there. So my movie, Mr. and Mrs. Ramachari, had a huge collection. So even then, none of the people here knew what is happening in Kannada industry. So they all, okay, Kannada industry. कितना 5 करोड़ में फिल्म बनाते 10 करोड़ में collection आता है. So I'm like, no yaar, it's like 50 crores. So the point here is, we were not connected. Nobody was aware of what is happening. And somewhere if, it's all about numbers, sir. Only when numbers are there, people will respect you. That's the biggest validation, according to me. Today, everybody is looking towards Kannada industry because of the number what we created. And then, I think, I can't blame them also. Whoever were not aware of my industry, it's not their fault, but it's an opportunity which we had.
Basically, when it comes to Bollywood, it's business, business, business. I love business. And I love money. But, you know, since it's Kannada, I have with us our Bangalore bureau chief because he wants to do the Rocky Bhai swagger that many rickshaw drivers also in Bengaluru now do in other parts of Karnataka. So I'm inviting Nagarjun Dwarkanath, our Bangalore bureau chief. He wants to learn from you how do you get the Rocky Bhai swagger? You know, when you're coming into all those sequences, you know that you got to show us the swagger, the KGF style swagger.
I'll follow him.
You'll follow him?
You should also follow him. Let's do it together. He'll teach us and we'll do it together.
To be a Rocky Bhai, you should believe in yourself. Okay?
You have to be?
You should believe in yourself.
We believe.
You should come out of all your inhibitions.
No, he's worried about his knees and all that.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Even if you are limping, you should feel that it's the attitude, that's the style.
Done.
Okay.
What I feel is, there is a Rocky in everybody. Lot of people today, they try to take validation from outside. If that was the case, then we wouldn't have done this. Rocky is all about confidence. Rocky is all about being real, being earthy. So first, you have to have that confidence in you.
Done.
Now, don't worry about rest of the people. Now, you're the smartest guy here.
Of course.
You have the best attire.
Done.
And you have the best walking style.
Done.
Please walk towards me. That's Rocky.
Come on, walk towards him.
I'll leave the music also. Let's play the music.
No external. Music should be playing in your head.
Okay.
Go for it. Come on.
No, you're calculating your moves. No.
Kya karta hai yaar?
Just walk as if you don't care.
Think
You
of
own
it.
the world.
Think
Or
of
you don't
yourself.
care who owns the world.
Think of yourself as a Bengaluru auto rickshaw driver. Go for it now.
Yeah, closer. But you're taking my validation. That's not required.
We are learning the Yash, the Virat Kohli way of, getting self-belief over time and, getting that sense of confidence. He had a question though in Kannada.
Okay.
Because, you can't come here and not tell us some of those iconic dialogues in Kannada. Come on, go for
Yeah.
it.
ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸಂದೇಶ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೇ ಮೂವಿದು KGF ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು?
ಅದು ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಸೇಮ್ ಡೈಲಾಗ್, ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್.
ಸರಿ, ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ
ಓಕೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಹೇಳು. ನನಗೆ ಯಾರ ದೋಸ್ತಿನೂ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ದುಶ್ಮನಿ ಯಾವನು ತಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಆಫರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಸ್ ಸೂನ್.
ಅದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏರಿದೆ, ಆ ಶ್ರೇಯಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಲ್ತಿದೆ. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಇವತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಖುಷಿ ಪಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದು.
ಸರ್, ಅದು ನನ್ನೊಬ್ಬನ ಶ್ರೇಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇಡೀ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಡೀ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಹಿಂದಿನಿಂದನೂ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅದೊಂದು ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಮ್ಮ ನಿರ್ಮಾಪಕರಾದ ವಿಜಯ್ ಕಿರ್ಗಂದೂರ್ ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರಾದ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ನೀಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಇಡೀ ತಂಡ, KGF ತಂಡ, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಅಂಶ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ.
ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಸರ್, ಯಶ್ ಅವ್ರ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಕಾತುರದಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಾಯ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಸಿಹಿ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಇನ್ ಯಾವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
2 ಮಕ್ಕಳಾಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ, ಸಾಕು. ಸಿಹಿ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್.
I asked him sweet good news for the audience of Kannadiga, Karnataka. When would we be seeing him next? He said the good news is I already have 2 children.
He says we are expecting a good news from you. I said I already have 2 kids. The movie, very soon. I think I know there are a lot of news floating around. When I say it, that's when the project will be announced. Rest of the things, I don't want anybody to believe in it. I will come and I will tell when it is done.
All the best ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಂದ.
Thank you.
Namaskara, Yash.
Namaskara, sir.
That's where my Kannada ends. But there is a KGF 3, is it? Is that in the pipeline?
Not anytime soon, sir. We had a thought, we have a plan, but I want to do something else right now because I've done, for 7 years or 6-7 years I've been doing that. We'll just take a break and see if everything falls in place. We'll do it later, but not anytime soon, sir.
So what does Yash do when he takes a break? You've been away from public eye for almost 5 months, since April to today. How do you relax? What is Yash's way of relaxing?
Change of work, do something.
Like
keep
what?
Working. We are working on a lot of things, sir. We are working on a lot of projects. There are a lot of script discussions we do on a daily basis. And as an actor, there are certain things where you need to do on a daily basis. Your fitness, and I spend time with my family. And after KGF though, I've been spending good quality time, especially after COVID. After pandemic, we all realized how precious that time is, and I think I also got addicted to that time, spending time with my family. So I'm spending a lot of time with family as well.
But how do you relax? Do you ever switch off? Is it possible for a celebrity like you, who's surrounded, because you don't do much of social media, unlike other stars. We don't see much of you. So how do you actually switch off? Are you able to switch off?
That's the way you switch off, sir. If you're active on social media, you need to be responsible for every other, you need to address every other issue in the world. I stay away from it because, see, if I want to wish you on your birthday, I will call you and wish you. I don't have to put it on social media. Now it's become such a difficult thing. You have to wish on every other person's birthday. And if you wish your friend on his birthday, the other person will also expect you to wish. If you don't, then he will feel bad more than feeling happy. So the problem is, better to stay away from it. So I've always stayed away from social media. If I have to express something, when I meet you, I tell you, I'll call you and tell you. But I would never, get into social media for everything. So only when I want to share something about my personal life or my project, once in a while I do it, sir.
And if Yash was not a film star, what would he be?
I've never thought of it. I always wanted to be an actor. I always wanted to be a star. So I don't have an answer to that question, sir. I think I would have been a waste guy doing nothing.
No,
I can't visualize myself in anything else.
The reason, Yash, you've spent a lot of time with us. And it is wonderful that you've given us a glimpse of what your cinema is all about. I hope more and more people, in a way, celebrate what being Yash is. You have a final message for us, for all our viewers here at India Today, across India, across the world. What's your last message, in a way, to them? What would you like to tell them? How do you want to inspire them to have that self-belief to do the Yash walk, to do the Rocky Bhai walk? Nagarjun almost got it right in the end. So what's your message to all your fans?
I think if I'm sitting here today and addressing such a wonderful audience, I think all of them have been successful in their own fields. I had a problem with my English. I had a problem with a lot of things, The point is, at this level, we all think that you should have certain qualities to be successful. But what I feel is you just have to go and showcase your talent. Don't care about inabilities or what insecurities you have. People will recognize, audience will recognize, they will respect you for who you are. And once you get success, everybody will respect you. Then you can pick up all those qualities. So for people who are sitting in small towns, a small town, I think anything can be done. Our country, even in sports or in cinema, it's open. Please, if I can get this kind of number, or if I can be accepted across the country, anybody can be accepted. Please go out, try, give your best. Audience are waiting to make another big star or another big sports star. Please take that first step, then everything will fall in place. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Well, it's a wonderful story. It's a great Indian story. It's an inspirational story of the small town boy who grew up in Mysuru, is from Hassan. Father was driving a bus and is now driving the nation crazy is his son. So that is a remarkable leap over one generation, Yash. What you've achieved will inspire many in a way. What Mahendra Singh Dhoni achieved on the cricket field, from Ranchi to eventually here at the Wankhede Stadium lifting that trophy. You've done it with your cinema. Thank you so much for joining us here at the India Today Conclave.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.